invited investors to bid for the 170.6 billion peso public-private partnership to upgrade the airport. The contract would initially cover 15 years, but may be extended by another 10 years. Under the indicative schedule, bids for the project should be submitted on December 27th. A draft concession agreement will be out on September 8, while the final version will be released on December 8. A pre-bid conference is also set on September 22, while one-on-one meetings with prospective bidders will be held in October and November. The Bangko Sentral says policy easing is not on their radar yet amid up risks to inflation. BSP Governor Eli Remolona said they are rather maintaining a hawkish stance, expressing their apprehensiveness with inflation still exceeding their 2 to 4% target range at 4.7% in July. Last week, the central bank extended its policy pause for a third straight meeting, keeping the benchmark interest rate at a near 16-year high of 6.25%. The NAIA is optimistic that achieving the president's promise of bringing down rice prices to 20 pesos a kilo is still possible, but that's if local production is improved. Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says local farmers' yield must be hiked to up to 7 tons of palay per hectare. That's up from the current 4 tons. However, Balisacan clarifies that this cannot be done immediately. He says the private sector must lend a hand by investing in logistics and facilities. The government must also take into account calamities that may affect output. Despite these factors, Balisacan believes that rice prices will drop to the 20 peso level before the end of President Bongbong Marcos's term.
If you reduce naman prices of rice, halimbawa to 20, you can actually do that, no? You can actually do that. But if you don't increase productivity while you are doing that, then the farmers will suffer. The rice farmers will suffer. So that's the one thing that you have to understand. Our president made a promise to reduce the prices of rice. That has to be taken in the context that what we will do is to increase productivity.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on the One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Digital transformation is among the priorities of the Marcos administration as a tool for economic growth. Now, here to join us to discuss their initiatives in forwarding this cause, we have with us live here on studio, ePLDT President and CEO Viboy Genuino. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Diego, for having me.
And I think we really have an interesting topic right now because you are a leader in digital transformation of business now. Now, tell us why this is really important and what does it really take in acquiring technology? Does it guarantee resilience for a business?
Thanks, Diego. I think it's a very interesting topic that a lot of enterprises now are very curious about.
Yes.
And I think digital transformation is a strategic imperative of any enterprise. Our group CEO, Al Panilio, always says, you can't use an old map to navigate a new world, right? So
Correct.
for us to be able to remain resilient, to be able to ensure that we are one with change with regards to anything customer related, we have to be able to transform ourselves.
That's right.
But it starts with the business outcomes. What does the business want to do? Do they want to reduce cost? Do they want to be more efficient? Do they want to be more customer-centric? And I think our job as ePLDT would be to be able to match the technologies that are available in the market to the outcomes that these enterprises
so
would want.
It's like it's customizable.
It is.
Okay, interesting.
It is. Yes. Because sometimes the problem is technology drives how business should be run,
That's
but
right,
it's
that's right.
always the other way around. Business defines what they want, and technology follows suit.
That's interesting. You said it's customizable, but a lot of people have been asking, what if I only want one thing for my business and I don't really need this now? So that's very interesting. Now, how important are ICT solutions today when setting up or sustaining a business? And how does PLDT Enterprise and ePLDT enhance businesses through cloud systems, data centers, and other innovations?
Thank you, Diego. ePLDT is the ICT arm of the PLDT group of companies. So our role is to be able to offer solutions to enterprises and position ourselves as the digital transformation partner for these customers. Our suite of services include cloud, cybersecurity, and data centers.
Oh, okay.
So when you talk about cloud, we offer a suite of different services coming from our vendor partners like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Salesforce, and the like. Cybersecurity is also very, very important. You cannot just move certain applications into the cloud without ensuring protection around it.
Yes, that's right.
And in the Philippines, I'm happy to tell you, Diego, that we are the largest data center operator in the country today. We have 10 data centers in the Philippines today. We are building our 11th data center in Santa Rosa, which will go live by the second half of next year. And the size of this data center is huge. It's 50 megawatts. So think of it as 15 to 20 huge malls that is being consumed by this data center in terms of power. So when you say all of these applications and services move to the cloud, that needs to be housed somewhere, and our data centers will be housing all of these applications that are moving to the cloud.
Yes, you mentioned the cloud a number of times. And of course, the question on most business owners is how safe is your business solutions from cyber attacks? I mean, what are you doing now to improve cybersecurity?
Thank you. Very important question, Diego. Cybersecurity is very, very important. In a recent survey made with chief information officers of large enterprises, resilience and cybersecurity is actually number one on their list. So for PLDT Smart, we're ensuring that we're investing a lot of know-how and technology to ensure that we protect our network and our platforms. But if you look at it in terms of cybersecurity, there are 5 accepted pillars.
Okay.
The first one is identification. The second one would be to protect, to detect, to respond, and then to recover. So these are the 5 pillars. And I think if we partner with ePLDT, we can also cover a whole suite of solutions that ensures protection for an enterprise when they move their applications to the cloud.
So you're saying, sir, it really depends what kind of business you are in.
Yes.
And that's how the security will adapt to that kind of business.
That's correct. What we propose to our customers is to run a basic audit, or what we call a security posture assessment.
Okay.
It's a simple audit that allows us to go to a company, see where their vulnerabilities are, and offer solutions on how to protect and reinforce their assets. It's funny, Diego, it's like putting a security guard to be able to man your critical assets at home.
Yes.
The same token, for moving applications to the cloud, you need to put some security around it. And those are the services that ePLDT offers.
So it's like saying, like, in the olden times, you had your physical address and physical information, and you had your security guard. Now that you're moving into the cloud and being more modern, you now have all these pillars in place.
Yes. And these threat actors are getting very, very creative.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Because unlike a physical threat wherein you know where it's coming from, when you move things to the cloud, it's basically, it can come from anywhere.
That's true.
So the protection required should be greater.
Well, thank you for your reassurance. I'm sure a lot of business owners are finding this very interesting.
Thank you. Actually, in fact, they're saying it's not a matter of if, but when, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's really incumbent on enterprises to protect themselves.
I agree. And let's talk about ESG, or environmental, social, and governance, in assessing the sustainability of businesses. How do PLDT Enterprise and ePLDT help companies with their ESG strategies in order to gain investor confidence and reduce, of course, operational costs? That's very important.
Very important. I can speak on behalf of the data centers that we have.
Okay.
We are a very big consumer of power. And when you consume power, I think there are a lot of questions on greenhouse gas emissions and where you source your power. I think for us, that's very important. So we try to approach it in two ways. One is in terms of energy sourcing.
Okay.
We ensure that our data centers run with at least 20 to 30% of renewable power to ensure that there's the proper energy mix in the data center. And secondly, in terms of running our own operations, we ensure that energy efficiency is top of mind.
Okay.
And we are measuring this through the following. Number one is what we call power usage effectiveness. How efficient are we when we use power? We measure it through WUE, water usage effectiveness.
WUE.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last one is CUE, carbon usage effectiveness.
Okay.
So these are the three matrices that we track to ensure that when we run our data center operations, we're able to do it in a very, very efficient manner. And this redounds to, obviously, savings to the customers that we have, and ensures that they know that our sources of energy and the way we run our data center suits with their own ESG targets of being green.
So it's like you're saying, sir, they don't have to worry because there's really no fixed cost for some aspects, because it really depends on how a business wants his partnership with ePLDT to be like.
Yes. I think the assurance we can give our customers is that the green agenda is number one in our mind.
Okay.
And we're ensuring that all of the different aspects of running our business has ESG. And ensuring that carbon emissions are reduced.
That's great to hear. And tell us more, sir, about the PLDT Group and its commitment to support the government's nationwide digitalization thrust. And I think kasi we're moving forward with this, especially with this administration, into trying to integrate everything online.
Yes.
So tell us more and more about your product, sir.
Well, we're very supportive of the current administration's thrust to digitalization, or for digitalization. And we are an avid supporter of the Go Digital Pilipinas campaign, which is under the Private Sector Advisory Council of the President. This group was really formed to be able to bridge the digital divide by improving digital literacy and ensuring that we have a sustainable digital infrastructure in place. So we are supportive of that and the different initiatives that the PISAC organization has put in support. Secondly, we are also one in government in positioning the Philippines as the next transit and hyperscaler hub of the region. I think what's happening now geopolitically is that there are tensions on the South China Sea. Because of so much data center build in Singapore, the government in Singapore has actually reduced the number of new data centers to be built there. So they are now looking for alternatives as to where they build their next data centers for these huge global companies. And we're working with the government to ensure that the Philippines and ePLDT is positioned as the next hyperscaler destination for Asia Pacific.
Any timeline or idea, sir, how fast this would would go?
Oh, well, it's currently happening now. We've had a lot of interest and discussions from the huge Eastern and Western hyperscalers to look at the Philippines as their next destination to build very, very big zones to accommodate their cloud consumption.
It's really exciting news, and it's something to look forward to.
Yes.
And of course, sir, any message to our business viewers right now, or any updates that they should expect or should be excited about with ePLDT?
Yes, thank you, Diego. Well, I think I just wanted to tell the audience today that the ePLDT is really positioned to be the digital transformation partner of choice for enterprises. We can help large enterprises, the government, public sector, and SMEs achieve their digital transformation aspirations. We are outcome-based and outcome-focused. We are not here to sell technology. We're here to understand what the pain points of our customers are and then provide the right solutions to be able to ensure that they hit their business targets. So please put your trust in PLDT the same way that you have trusted PLDT all these years, your connectivity solutions and services that we've provided.
A very reassuring message. Again, sir, thank you very much for joining us this early morning on One News Now. It's
Thank
really
you, Diego.
an honor to have you with us.
Maraming salamat,
Maraming
Diego.
salamat. And thank you very much for joining us, ePLDT President and CEO Viboy Genuino. All roads lead to the Philippine Arena on Friday as the FIBA World Cup kicks off. And with that, traffic and toll road officials are preparing for the influx of fans watching the matches. Thousands of motorists are expected to use NLEX this Friday for the opening games at the Philippine Arena. Aside from weekend vacationers, this includes media and security teams covering the World Cup, and of course, basketball fans. The tourism department is expecting some 600,000 spectators catching the games live. The NLEX Corporation is reminding everyone that some access points to the Philippine Arena will be closed off, so plan your trips ahead, guys. Here are other reminders. The NLEX Corporation is reminding everyone that some access points to the Philippine Arena will be closed off. So plan your trips ahead, guys, and stay safe this coming FIBA World Cup.
Sana po mas maaga po silang magbakasyon. Huwag na po nilang antayin yung Friday. Maaring bumiyahe na sila ng Huwebes ng hapon o gabi.
Dahil po sa aming eksperyensya, kung magdi-declare po kami ng suspension ng number coding, dumadami po ang sasakyan sa lansangan na nagki-create po ng traffic.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. The FIBA World Cup starts August 25. Support Gilas, support Team Pilipinas. Watch and buy tickets to the biggest sports event of the year.